All right. Good evening, everyone. It's Sunday, Memorial Day, 9:11 p.m. And here's a little market prep and trade ideas. So if you have any questions, please just write in the chat window. I'm happy to go over more stocks. So let's start with the indices. And we had a beautiful run from the last retest. For me, technically, I don't see anything bearish because we are in the breakout zone about the 540, 525 around there. So we're still holding really well on the 10 exponential moving average and about the breakout zone. So I'm long and I'm not stressed with any shorts right now. We had inside day, so hopefully tomorrow we will break out about 530. That would mean a nice strong move to the upside. That's SPY on a weekly. We can test that as well. Okay, indecision candle. So again, inside day means that the stock, the ETF in this case, might move down or up. We don't know. We will see tomorrow. But my bias is to go long. NVIDIA had really strong earnings, and it's most likely going to rally until the split 10 to 1. So we have QQQ, the same story, looks very similar to SPY. Exactly here is the breakout of the previous all-time high, and we are holding pretty well on the moving average. So that's both indices the same. Also an inside day, since on Thursday, due to the Taiwan and China news, we had really ugly days. So most of stocks and ETFs had inside day on Friday. Same for IWN. IWN is very volatile and moves much worse. That one doesn't have an uptrend, is more a chop, right? We still are in this zone, but we need to really break about 212 in order to start moving to the higher zones of 220. For now, it's just a chop. It's a painful accumulation with this one. A lot of people are betting on small caps to move finally, but it's not going to happen until the interest rates are in the situations that are right now. Silver. So let's look at the futures first. So the silver futures have absolutely perfect retest of what we expected. Here is my chart from last week, and we keep grinding higher. So whoever is trading futures on silver and took this breakout right here, ideal buy limit as I posted last week, it got literally right there. So it got to 30 something, and this was ideal a place to add. So tomorrow, SLV, the ETF, is going to run. So right now, also inside day, it's going to probably be much about 28. And hopefully, for me, silver still has juice to go. Of course, I don't have a crystal ball, but silver could easily get to 35 by summer with all the situations happening in the world, and commodities are just going crazy, especially metals. So silver, the same thing, right? So this is one we can trade as well. Who doesn't trade the futures? And we can totally go back to 29.30. So Mara, Bitcoin, let's look at Bitcoin actually, because these guys are really, these guys are very sensitive with the move of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin USD, suck. All right, so it was a little bit up to 70s last today, or was it? Yeah, it went to 70 something. So right now it's a little bit slow, but it had a nice breakout. So hopefully the same thing. Look at Bitcoin. It's been in this channel here since the whole March and April. It's not moving, so it's pretty choppy. We ideally want it really to go about the 73,800 all-time high and then run. But right now you can just trade a small breakouts. Like here was a beautiful place. We were bored this weekend. You could have traded this breakout, and look, it's $2,000-$3,000 movement. Now it's a little slow. So again, we see the relative volume right here. But Mara, the same thing. Mara is moving in upward channel. We're creating higher lows and higher highs. But again, we have this massive resistance around 2260 we need to get above. So it's been a painful process with these ones. They require a lot of patience, but I think that this one is going to do well. They just announced that they are going to work with Nigeria, and I think it was Nigeria and Africa. They're going to mine there because the energies are cheap, and let's put it this way, labor as well. They have a lot of money, so it's my favorite one. But let's look at the CLSK as well, because it was requested, and it's also a miner that's focusing on green energy. So this one also is in very tight channel. We need this gas to break out finally. It's just been painful. You can trade it very quickly, but they're very tricky because we traded this little breakout in a day trade last week. Who did the day trade did really well. Who had the swing trade got stopped out next day. So you can see this barcode. It's just really uncomfortable swing trading action. So those ones are probably better to just have overnight or day trade. As well, RIOT. So RIOT is not doing as well as Mara, but also in a chop. So look at, if you look at the Bitcoin price action, then you see the miners are also similar. They're just chopping since March. You see here is March and just have more violent moves. But if you compare it to Bitcoin, the same thing, it's in the channel. So they're just waiting. I believe that at some point these things are just going to skyrocket, but when that's going to happen, I don't know. But I think really Bitcoin, once it's about the all-time high, that's when the FOMO kicks in, and that's when everyone is going to again start talking about it. And now we got ETF for Ethereum approved. So yeah, I see it doing well at some point. All right, SMTC, let's go to the semiconductors. So SMTC, I day traded last week. I was posting in the chat, and this one I would take a swing trade or a breakout of the 41.44 level. Right now it's just a chop. It was fun to day trade, but I really would want to see this one on an increased volume. These are my older trades, you can see. So you see stock makes a move, takes a little break, retest, and again makes a big move, takes a little break. That's how they behave. So now we are taking a break. My target on this one measured is around 49, but this thing needs to break out. Longer this chop zone takes, more intense the breakout will be, right? But again, you can get trapped in those attempts, right? It's called fake outs. So always have very tight stop loss when you're trading the breakout. Even if you see this, you want to, here in corner, you see my relative volume, you want this to be ideally at least 50-60% higher than the day before, if not 100, for a proper breakout, right? And you can see it every day, this volume, it's a relative volume. Here, the indicator I have, relative volume 20, and it's going to be up here. So always look, that shows you how the volume is changed from the day before, right? So that's what you want to see. You want to see the volume higher and the day before. I will take this a swing trade or a day trade. We will decide what it's going to be depending on the power when it happens, about the level 4150 approximately. Let's look at other semiconductors. So yeah, grouped together. AMD. Okay, so AMD, I like. I think AMD did retest. It's going to probably at some point catch up on NVIDIA. It's also having a inside day, as you can see here, that the day on Friday was inside of the day range on Thursday, which is normal because it was a full day. But this one, remember, this is a very strong resistance on AMD around the 168, 18, 170. So in this case, it's 172 almost. But I like this chart and had really strong volume. So I think about this level 168 something, it could really run nicely. It sold off really ugly, over 30%. It stabilized, and now it's about 10-20 moving average, even the 50, right? So this could fly at some point. I'm having this on my little watch list, right? AMD. Let's look at SMCI. Okay, it's flagging a little bit. This one is a little tricky. I like the breakout right here, but look, it broke out and then was immediately the same day gone. That movement was $100 on one day. So whoever traded it got most likely trapped. I don't like it, but look, this is what trading does. It's not always perfect. Also an inside day. If you like to trade this one, go for it, but I prefer the chart on SMTC. It's much cleaner uptrend that's taking a break than this thing, right? This one is not a clear uptrend. Moving averages are kind of curled. I prefer the other one, and or NVIDIA. If you have the money to trade this one or you want to try options, feel free. You can literally take this breakout right now where we are, right? Because we had the high on Thursday, and then we have beautiful candle on Friday that's also showcasing buying pressure. So you can trade stop limit around the 1069 and have the stop right below right here, about $40, $50. I know it's a lot, but look, you buy 10 shares, that's $500 risk. If this thing moves to $300, you can make $2,000-3,000 in some weeks, right? I think on the June 6th or June 10th, they are going to stay, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure, but it's probably going to run until then. And then be careful, because usually when this happens, the stock sells off it's the sell news, buy the rumor, sell the news. So usually after the split, they kind of tend to sell off. So if it's a short-term trade, you wanna kind of be careful, okay? So that's NVIDIA. Let's look at Meta. Meta here, I'll be adding in a level. So when this happened, I was buying a leap for 35 for 2026. I have a leap. When we get about this zone, which again, you see, stock ran, is taking a break. Now we closed about 10, 20, and 50 moving average. I can surely look at the 200, which is far, doesn't concern me. We are holding strong on the 100. If we get about 484, these levels around there, and this top of this gap, I will be adding long, because then I will be aiming for the all-time high or higher, right? Look, what I suggest to not have targets really, because what people do, they buy a stock, they see the target, it reaches the target, and they sell. That's not how trading works. If you see power and momentum and the stock keeps going higher, you stay in. All you do is moving a stop, because that's when you make the real money. Like look at this one, for example, GS, right? We traded this one here, 419, right? So what if your target is 420 or 430? You get out. Look what you're missing. Or FLSR and FSLR, sorry. Look, the same thing. You trade a breakout right here and you miss, and this is what makes you money. If you don't have this kind of trades, you're gonna have a hard time to make money as a trader. And that's the problem. People always lose a lot and then they make a little bit of money and they get out. But look, this is insane. And you need to trade and hunt and manage your emotions so you actually find this kind of trades. Look, this is, it doesn't want to show me how many percent, 1 second. 40%. That's insane, right? So these are the trades you live for and you hunt for. So I say target, but the target does not mean that you're going to get out. Target is stupidity. It's ideal to be in the trade as long as you can to juice the max money out of it and just keep moving your stop on the pivot. Like here is a pivot. Right now, my stop would be below last week or maybe even in the half, right? You also don't want to get stopped out too early, right? So I say that that's my target, but I'm not going to just get out if I see there is momentum, because this is what makes you real money. On Moderna, like look at this beautiful breakout. Right, you have a beautiful chart, a pattern breakout, and you're right? That's here, if you're up 10-20%, you can take little profits off, take 20% off of 30 and move the stop, right? And you're right. So these are the managements that I suggest. Not just take it all off and yay, I made $5. It's the wrong strategy. eBay. Okay, eBay has a beautiful breakout. Look at the volume, 149%. That's what you want to see on a breakout. That is a perfect breakout. That means this is going to continue most likely, right? Ideally, I would want to see a little bit of retest, but with this kind of volume, look how it's increasing right here. This is very important and very, very nice to see because it's corresponding with the breakout. It will be probably hard to see this retest, and it might take a while. This might continue, and then you might see some sort of flag or pennant or wedge kind of retest and then goes higher, right? So this would be ideal if it gets a little bit lower or at least to the half of that candle, right? If for a limit buy. So that's eBay. Let's look at Google. I mean, Google is having amazing trend. Look, it's just really clean. It was this breakout here and it's just super nicely respecting the 10. There was a little bit of bid that immediately got bought up. Again, insider day. If we have a nice momentum tomorrow, all of these stocks I'm showing you, you can trade simple inside day breakout. Here is your entry, here is your stop loss, and you trade the breakout on nice volume. If you see the volume is good in the morning, you go higher and the market is corresponding, you can trade this breakout and just rally. So that's Google. Google looks nice. It's indecision candle on the 10, so it can go also down. Right? Indecision means indecision, and it's inside on top of it, which is another indecision. So be careful tomorrow and see Also remember, oftentimes there are fake outs to the downside too. It might just break down. So ideally, if you want to short, if you see there is a bad momentum on Google, you wait for the first breakout, retest of that breakout, and then you go short. All right, Apple. So at Apple, also inside day, all the charts look very similar, right? The indices are a nice trend. We had ugly day, and it's also inside day on this one. Let's look at the bigger picture on Apple. I like to look on the weekly with this one. I don't like to trade Apple, honestly. You can, but it's just for me too slow moving. So yeah, we are almost in the all-time highs here around 200. It had a really nice move. Everyone thought Apple is done. Also, they always think, but look at this volume here. This is for me a problem. I don't like when the stock is showing it goes up, but the volume is going down, right? And although it was 70%, but from the day before, but I would be careful here, right? Because it might just like go back down. So in other ways, if Apple doesn't get above the all-time high, to me, it's just one giant channel as well. Look, it just goes up and down, up and down, up and down in this channel since May last year, right? On the weeks. So now let's look at the daily back. All right, so yeah, it's holding nicely, but again, if you take it, you want to break out of here 192, and you would be aiming for next level to be careful around 199 and the all-time high, because you know the all-time high is pretty strong level to the stocks bounce off. All right, and your stop would be, if you take a breakout of this or this level, your stop is right here, 187. Okay, I wouldn't give it too much chance to fall below because you're going down to 184 and stuff. CCJ. All right, CCJ. Okay, so here was a breakout about 50-50. I was explaining someone. Yeah, it's an uptrend. It's an uptrend, higher highs. It holds pretty well on the 10 as well. It did not even have inside day on Friday, so it went higher, which is pretty nice. Yeah, it looks nice, this one. You could trade a breakout. If you have another continuation of a nice green day, you can take a breakout right here. It's nice flag. Let's look at the bigger picture on this one. Okay, yeah, looks nice. Looks like a nice trend. So it's a green light on this one. I like stocks that have nice trends. I don't like chops. I don't like stocks that are undecided. They are still like curving, like, you know, you never know when it's going to break out. It might take years. This one has a nice trend finally. It seems like it left these levels as well, where it was struggling here, right? It's all you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times it tried. There was a resistance, and now resistance became a support, right? So that's nice. That's what you want to see. This is now a support, right? Around here, boom. It's holding really well. So you don't want it to break below it, because that would not be nice, because then again, the resistance will be a resistance. Now it's a support. UEC. Okay, this is a chart I don't like. It's, yeah, it's just, you know, it's again, like it's a channel. Candles are too weaky. I don't know. The volume is not that great. I would stay away from this one. If you want to trade metals, trade silver or gold, or Cisco. Let me show you one. This one has pretty nice trend. It retested ugly. Sadly, this green line was my breakout level. It fall below and close below, and look, it's not doing much. Well, once this gets about a 10 blue line and this green resistance, which is now again a resistance, then it will be a nice long one again, right? But it has to be here above, all right? Below the green line, no bueno, it can go back down. So again, like the uranium was this one. No, which one was the uranium? We see here, yeah. I don't want to trade this. I'm sorry. There are so many nicer things to trade. I wouldn't touch this one that much. It's just a chop. SMTC as we did, FCX. All right, this is also a nice trade. All right, it's a nice trend. It's holding for dear life right now at 20 moving average, but look, it likes to retest there. So this was a crazy breakaway gap, and it retested, and you could trade it right here. Now it's just like chopping, and just again the same pattern. You see how the stock behaves, right? Always observe the behavior, right? But this 20 green line seems to be holding pretty well. You have indecision. If I would want to trade this, I would want to go at least above the indecision candle and the 10 moving average, but then you have the gap. So you have too many things standing in your way. You have the 10, you have this high, the gap, you have all of this stuff. So also wouldn't be my ideal stock to trade, quite frankly. I would want to wait until it's back about the 55.42. So just hope you understand what I mean with clean charts, you know. So this one's a little bit gappy. I don't know. I wouldn't trade it. I would maybe just trade like Google or other stuff that looks nice. Some of my trade ideas, someone, if you have any requests, please text me here in the chat. I'm happy to look at some stuff before I progress to trade ideas that I want to show to everyone. So, okay. If you don't have one, I'm just going to go to AVGO. All right, so AVGO has a beautiful cup and handle and is holding really nicely on the 10. This is a nicer trend. We have this resistance above 1446. It's a nice flag and inside. So sure, you can trade 1412 breakout, have a stop below the blue in exponential moving average, as well as the inside day on Friday. So 1412 entry and 1388, let's say stop. You can trade, but then you can expect here it's going to be some sort of a resistance, right? Or you can patiently wait and trade the breakout of the resistance. Again, you want to see increased volume, right? But that would be a nice breakout on AVGO. That's my kind of idea. And I know a lot of people in our room like this stock. Then we have NVIDIA, which I already did, right? That's the trade plan. And USD is another one that has a beautiful breakout, but I kind of would want to buy limit closer to this level, right? Because I'm already up about this level. How many percent? It's about, 3 point almost 4%. So I would ideally buy it closer to 113.50, but that is also a really nice chart. You see, we have a beautiful breakout. You're about the resistance now, and you're about the moving averages. You just don't want to chase. That's why a little bit of pullback, kind of getting a better price, like boom down here and then take off and put your stop right here, 112.13. If you are buying the retest and limit buy, have your stop right here. I don't joke with those breakouts because once it fails, it's gonna go lower. Okay, so these ones are 10 is the blue exponential. Or is it 10 or 8? Pardon me. 8 is this one. 8 and 20 is the green. And then I have the red one is 50. But I also use 10 sometimes. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. It's not like one size, it's not like this is right, this is wrong. I use them sometimes to just see the overall market and where it could land. So 10 or 8 you can do 20 or 21 as well. A lot of people love the 21. I have 20, sometimes I change it. And then I have 50, right? This one, exponential 50. So these are mine. Again, I change them sometimes, but I try to do the 8 or 10, 20, 21, and then the 50 exponential simple, and I just compare where it is. Honestly, the moving averages to me are not that extremely important. And also I look at ranges. I don't look at perfect number, right? So if you have exponential or simple, you count to ever approximate price, right? What I pay more attention to is the volume and are those kind of levels, the trend lines and the breakouts, the chart patterns. That's what I like more because they really work magic, right? They work really well. Like you can see, the breakout here. All of my charts are filled with the patterns, right? So the moving averages are there just for my reference point, but I don't really think they're that extremely important in my opinion when you trade. It's more really just the breakout and the volume, all right? Hope that helps. All right, so yeah, I'm excited to see what tomorrow brings, and I will be monitoring the semiconductors and crypto and some metals. I think that's really the 2024 theme, this stuff. So silver, gold. Let's look at gold quickly. Also, I'm really curious actually here. Silver was a little bit crazier. Yeah, gold. Yeah, but also less crazy of a move. Okay, yeah, I like the silver chart more, quite frankly. but the gold is a little bit laggy behind the silver. So silver is the one to go, right? Okay, cool. Well, I hope this was helpful, and I'm gonna be doing the webinar on Thursday this week on day trading and swing trading techniques that I use. So thanks for coming. Thank you very much. Have a great night. And I will see you all in the, yeah, please do. Exactly. Anytime you have a request, just send them to the Lia requests, and I'm happy to look at stuff once a day. I usually go over the requests anyways and post them in the channel. Otherwise, twice a week I do videos. All right. Have a good night. Thank you. Bye. See you tomorrow.